Ahom Premam, Ahom Premam, Ahom Premam. I am divine love. This live is going to be about a lot of things as usual. It's going to be about Starseeds don't have flags, jumping on what I said yesterday, a couple days ago. The energy of the planet is going to probably make you feel exhausted. If that's not you, good. And this is probably not your life. This is for those who are actually being depleted. This is for you who are looking at the planet going, how the hell are we going through ascension if this much injustice is being played out? Well, we've always had this kind of injustice and genos and wars and famine, always. Except now, unlike the last 13,000 years, if we can believe recorded history and unrecorded history and beyond, we get to see it front and center. And that's why we are in this new age, from moving out of Kali Yuga into Satya Yuga. Because now we get to see, and there's no way to deny it. Though, you will see people denying it. You will see people saying that things are okay or improving. What's happening is that there is a collapse happening it's all the wrong things for the right reasons. And how we turn that crossroad moment is going to be based on our individual consciousness. The fate of others who are cynical, who are devout to bullshit, they're devotees of bullshit, isn't your problem anymore. Your problem is to control your monkey mind from falling into the hellish pit of fear. Fear, powerlessness, anger, rage, sadness, grief, pretty much all the negative adjectives. That's going to be really your problem. And it's not a problem if you do what you need to do on a daily basis. Your meditations, you're working on your chakras, you're doing your mantras all day long until your monkey mind shuts the hell up. Turning off the TV. Like, personally, people like me, I haven't had TV in, I think, at least 17, 18 years. You'll find that you can barely watch shows to its completion anymore. It doesn't even matter. You'll find that you prefer reading or listening to your esoteric books. You'll find that you're looking for answers that the old systems can't fulfill that anymore. You'll find that you can't watch movies anymore because of all the things you know about these actors. You don't like them as people. And because you don't like them as people, you don't want to watch them act anything. You don't want to watch their movies anymore. It's not a bad thing. It's actually a good sign that you're going through your own personal evolution. And that's a win-win. In terms of your journey and what you're wrestling with isn't what's happening outside of your environment, believe it or not. It's actually your monkey mind. This is your entire journey. And you have to realize the starseeds, if you believe you're a starseed, which I hope you do, but who knows, right? If you're a starseed, then you must understand that you never did have flags. We were on other planets. We had allegiance to soul groups. We always will. Not to bloodlines, not to a racial ideology, not to these weird ideas of where your loyalty should lie. But in terms of your soul connections with people, with souls, with sentient beings. So this idea of being devout to a nation as opposed to being a devout to your own philosophies and the philosophies that are aligned with people who are not of your bloodline. You might be one of the lucky ones where your mother, your father, your uncle, one of your siblings are actually part of your soul group. That's a win-win. And it does happen. But, it's not, it's neither mandatory nor real. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, what you need to do is search your heart for some truths and not trying to be brainwashed by a system who has determined what your truths were for better control. Related to religious ideologies that simply continued the brainwashing. And now you have been stripped of all these things. And you're watching society as you know it being stripped. Basically seeing greed in all its ugly faces. And we knew it was coming. How could you not? Greed is good. Wall Street, Gordon Gekko. Greed is good. So you've got a lot of people who were raised under this idea. After World War II, there was a sense of booming joy and wanting the nectar of life, no matter what it took. Dog eat dog world. Can you imagine? These are money doesn't grow on trees. Money is the root of all evil. In other words, we've been fucked over emotionally, spiritually, and it has made us physically sick. Not to mention they've made sure to make our food where we are looking at our food with a side eye wondering, is this safe? What's in it? How is the seed constructed? Is this a pineapple? Or what kind of GMO fuckery is in that pineapple? Your monkey mind is also aiding and abetting in entrapping you. What you must understand is that in 3D perception is based on not just your agreement that this reality is real, but that everything around you that's been told to you must be the gospel truth. And it really isn't. Reality is based on what you are thinking, and it really isn't. Reality is based on what you are thinking. Hill. It's like climbing up to the Himalayas, where you need an oxygen tank. That means you need to rest. You need to take care of yourself. You need to be kind to yourself. It's funny how they've even shamed the concept of just staying in bed all day, calling it bed rotting. Isn't that interesting? Bed rotting? No, I'm fucking sleeping. I'm sleeping. I'm reposing. I'm trying to be in a state of complete surrender, and I'm allowing my body to remain in this bed today, or for 2 days, or for 3 days, because I've had my ass kicked. Everything is in play to make you feel bad about your following your own divine instinct as what you need to take a rest when you need to during this ascension journey. Do you really think it's a sprint? It's not even a marathon. It's a walk. Suddenly you're realizing that you can't eat X, Y, and Z anymore. Like, I'll give you an example that it hit me hard too. I got some bread from Trader Joe's, nothing crazy, just fucking bread, man. And the following day, my face was swollen as if I had just eaten a cup of MSG, what is it? MSG? Whatever the hell it's called. And it felt like I had my eyelids, everything was swollen. So it hit me. Okay, I really have celiac disease. I really have to stay away from certain things. And it was a shock. And yet I realized the bread that we make in this country is not recognized as bread in Europe. And this is not just me. It's talked about by American expats in Europe. So there are people, and it looks like I'm going to be one of them, and you might look into your nutrition because you're going to need nutrition. Your brain cannot be starved. And in a sense, there's obesity, right? And people literally, their brains are starving. So that means that you're going to have to get smart with how you eat, how I eat. And so there's going to be other options, spelt and buckwheat and things of that nature to make your own type of bread if that's what you need. There's a massive shift that is making people feel like they have absolutely no choice and no power. The leaders that are running these countries are all cloaked in different faces, but they're of the same philosophy. Can't you see that? And maybe here and there you'll have a leader that actually lives like their people. And I forgot the guy's name who was, I think he might have been in Poland, I'm not sure, who literally made very little money and lived in a very small studio apartment, and I think he was the president of the country. There are people out there that are for real. They are out there. But for the most part, we are looking at billionaires who are incorporating the world. And so New World Order, right? The New Age, and is completely different from New Earth and 5D. It's the massive split happening. And how you are in your mind, what you allow to filter through your mind, is going to determine whether or not you get onto the right path, which is 5D New Earth, or if you remain behind. I'm not being funny. It's not that's probably the only doomsday thing I'll say. It's up to you. My point is, don't let your monkey mind fucking take you on the wrong path. That's my point. And it is not an easy thing. Remember, it's the monkey mind that makes people take their own lives. It's not the soul saying, let's get the fuck out of here. How many times have I said that to you for at least 2 years? It's the monkey mind, left unchecked, that will take you or take a person to say, fuck this, I'm out. And it's the wrong frequency because you're back in the loop. Obviously. How you live is as important as how you die, my friends. The consciousness of how you die must be with as much trust as how you live. And if your monkey mind is constantly fucking with your consciousness, with how you see the world and how you see yourself, and if you are disempowering yourself by what your thoughts are allowed to be, and then you're ruminating on those thoughts, and you're letting them grow into the disgusting poisonous weed that are not going to bring you what you want. So the monkey mind, it can only be trained. This is what I keep saying. I mean, we're not stupid. You have to understand, people who chant mantras aren't stupid. We're not stupid with our time. We're as lazy as you are. Meaning we want things that have potency, that have power and potency to bring us out of this shit show, this fucking quicksand, out into our own light. Levitating out of it through conscious awareness, mindfulness. These are they're not t-shirts, my friends. They're actually actionable things you can do. And all you have to do is get into your monkey mind and sit in meditation and watch your monkey mind. A lot of people say, I can't meditate because my mind is, yeah, that's right. Fucking sit and watch it. You should be horrified. Yeah, please sit there for 20 minutes and watch your mind do its fucking monkey tricks. Be horrified. And then do some breathing exercises and some chanting. And then watch your consciousness change as you proceed, as you graduate level of being able to master one small thing at a time. It's funny, in the 70s they used to say your mother's tapes, your father's tapes, the tapes in your head. But they never went further into those tapes. They were talking about talk therapy. And I'm not saying talk therapy isn't important. I think it is. Because mostly what you're doing is talking out loud to someone sitting there. And if you have a very good therapist, to someone who's actually going to give you a fucking conversation back and forth so that you can actually understand what you're saying out loud. Most people do their best thinking out loud. And so when you're suffering and you're talking out loud, you get to hear, holy fuck, the shit that's been really harming you. But now there's a point where you have to graduate from these old ideas and move into what is clearly successful with when you look at monks, Buddhist monks, who do feats of power and magic that aren't explainable by 3D scientific, logical, cynical minds. And that's what you have to look at. Because if you don't take control over your monkey mind, it will own you and you will be its bitch and you won't fucking make it. You'll be back in the cycle of the hamster wheel of dharma, reincarnation filled with karma, self-loathing, fucking, I don't even want to go into it. So that's where you're at. You know, you can look at Trump saying this, and you can look at Trudeau saying that. I mean, for Christ's sake, you know, let's not put fucking countries on pedestals. I'm seeing you guys do it. I'm seeing Americans do it. A year ago, I saw a documentary on a man looking to be assisted in being unalive because he couldn't afford his rent. They asked him, do you want to live? Yes, but I can't afford it. So the meetings weren't about, let's figure out how to afford your rent. This is in Canada. The meeting was, how do we help you unalive yourself? Okay, I'm sorry, okay? So don't put any of these countries on a pedestal until further notice. A lot of you aren't listening to certain people because you think they're too left, too right, too this, too that. As I said, I went into a store and I asked the lady, so what do you think about what Trump is doing? And she did not want to answer. And I said, could we normalize not agreeing that we might have voted for different people, but can we normalize like having an agreement that it's okay to disagree with civility? Does that make sense? And then she told me what she thought. And she approved on it, which was against what I felt. But we still smiled at each other and respected each other's points of views. Don't let shit happening on the planet fuck up your ascension path. Some of the nicest people were Yahtzees in Germany. Some of the nicest people. There are things that Trump is doing that, there aren't that many, that I agree on. Immigration is not one of them. Not what he's doing, because the promise was to go into those areas that were massively dangerous, like Colorado, Aurora, Colorado. For example, not going after the white collar, blue collar, workman, workwoman that are struggling to just make it happen. And by the way, on the side note, if the alphabet channels, which the Rolling Stone magazine used to do articles in the 1970s on what they were doing in Nicaragua, El Salvador, I can go into Africa. What do you expect? You bring trauma to a country and you do it for 75 years. You're going to have fucking fucked up people coming out of those lineages, coming out with violence in their minds, violence in their hearts. I blame the alphabet channels that got involved in clear out of fucking nowhere. If I shat all over your fucking house and bulldozed it with fucking sand and crap and whatever, you'd have to leave. You couldn't live in that home anymore. Essentially, that's the metaphor. We have to look at the cause, which is not going to give us the solution right off the bat. It can't. There's some things that are going to take a generation to fix. But not everyone is, violent. Not everyone is mentally unstable. We have a very intense situation where I don't care if you're in third world countries and first world countries where we have mental issues. We have people right here in the USA, in parts of Europe, mostly Asia and Africa, all over, who don't want to feel anymore. That's a dangerous thing not to want to feel. Because if you don't want to feel anymore, what happens is you can't get downloads. What happens is your third eye is now closed. You won't even know what to do because you can't feel the right move anymore. You see, when you lobotomize your feelings, you lobotomize divine spark within yourself and the ability to connect to source, to get the right answers. So feeling is your ally. Even if it makes you feel bad, that's a good thing. I feel bad. Good. Why? Is there a solution? Let me feel the solution. If you can't feel the solution, you're fucked, my friend. And that's what people don't understand. Somebody dies that you love, fucking feel it. Feel it. It's okay to feel. A situation is impossible at a job. There is no money coming in. Then they feel the solution. If you've lobotomized yourself with you know what, then you need to undo it. You know, go to someone professional who can help you undo it so you can regain your sense of... Can you imagine if you couldn't feel your legs? I mean, how is it that we've normalized no longer emotionally feeling? But if you didn't feel your legs, you would panic. But not feeling emotionally, you're not panicking. Isn't that wild? That's actually scary. Because as you go through your meditations and you feel these, you might actually meditate, lay on Pachamama, on her beautiful body, start sobbing and sobbing and sobbing, howling and not knowing why. That's a good sign. You're fucking purging. It's like vomiting, but not quite knowing why you vomited. Was it the lentil? Was it the rice? Was it the butter? Was something rancid? Or are you just feeling so much you can't contain the food in your belly? You're so upset, though you can't articulate it, that you vomit. Isn't that interesting? How we've actually tried so hard to suppress all of these wonderful qualities that feeling brings about, including purging what no longer sits well with you. You have to start realizing that you are whatever you are in this incarnation, and it's temporary vessel. If you're Japanese, it's temporary. If you're Russian, it's temporary. If you're African American, it's temporary. If you're African, it's temporary. If you're Irish, it's temporary. It's fucking temporary. It doesn't define you. It isn't all of you. It is one fractal, like fucking one grain of sand in the entire, trillions of beaches around the world and beneath the ocean. One grain of sand. This incarnation I embody, that you embody, is one grain of sand. How the fuck can you hold on to a flag, a philosophy, as if this is it? It isn't. What you are is much greater, and you've actually put yourself in a little metal cage saying, this is my flag. These are my people. This is my family. Even if your family hurts you. Like making you marry someone you don't want to marry. Arranged marriages are still going on. You know that, right? It doesn't matter if you're first world or third world. I'm not sure. Let's not put that on third world people. Because in the first world, we know Princess Diane married. It was an arranged marriage. And look at the fuckery of that. Arranged marriage are still used by the elite. So my point to that is, live your life based on what you want. As long as it doesn't harm you and harms others, don't harm other people. As long as you don't, hurt children and animals and the planet, you're good to go. If you harm any of those, you're fucked. And you've incurred massive karma, which will loop you. Because when the soul exits these temporary vessels, it faces itself and it is its own worst judge. No one judges you on the other side. You are the one that judges you on the other side. And that's why the monkey mind has to be controlled. That's why moves have to become... The moves you make in this incarnation have to come from a higher level of consciousness. In other words, what you do, how you impact other people. If you harm other people, you better repair that shit. Because when you drop your body and you haven't repaired it while you live, you will fucking regret it. And that regret is a frequency match the 3D. Doesn't have to be on this planet, by the way. You think we're the only planet in 3D? Are you kidding? But you get where I'm coming from? I need you to be kind to yourself. I need you to take your fate into your own hands. I can't do it for you. No one can burn a candle and I will sell you a $9,000 candle, and I will go ahead and remove all your curses and your family lineage. Run. Fucking run. Anyone promises you that shit. You're the only one that can do it. Can people like me teach you how to do it on the same session? You've paid an hour for me or someone like me, and they show you how to do it. Yes. But should you pay someone to burn the supposed, shit on your family lineage? This one? No. That's what's so dangerous about some of these psychics out there. And what's interesting is you would think many people would understand that, because the KGB and the CIA and they used psychics for remote viewing. So just because you can do it doesn't mean you have the integrity to be a spiritualist, to lead people into their own light. Does that make sense? You would think it would. So don't blindly follow people because they got 500,000 people following them, or 1.2 million, or whatever the fuck. Oh my God, they must know something. Maybe. The trick of the devil? The devil's trick is he tells you the right things you want to hear. And you'll go, wow, yes. Wow, yes. People do it all the time. Narcissists are the best at it. They're magicians. They'll tell you what you want to hear. They'll tell you nectar in your ears, and you'll go, yes, yes. You don't think politicians don't love bomb its people? They do. And then what happens is, one day you go, wait, hang on, that doesn't feel right. You understand the concept of feeling now, how important it is. It doesn't feel right. Like it hit me in my third eye, or it hit me in my heart chakra, or my solar plexus, or my belly, my root chakra, sacral. It hit me wrong. Like, what? Why? This is such a good person. You have to not listen to what people say so much as feel what people say. Feel it. The words are words. I remember Selma Hayek saying, you don't know the language. If somebody calls you a name, you don't know what it means. No, but I know the fucking vibration. Selma, I know the vibration. And it's a fucked up vibration because they're calling me names. I don't need to know the language. I know the vibration is wrong. Similarly, if somebody tells you something that seems right but feels wrong to you, fucking go with that feeling. Because your soul is saying you're being hustled, you're being played, you're being manipulated. It's a feeling, my friend. You better get into your feelings. Because it's your feelings that are going to be the only compass you can trust. It is the only compass you can trust. Your heart chakra, once it's been trained. Or no, hang on. No, let me back up here. Fuck that. Once you've trained your monkey mind to shut the fuck up so your heart chakra, the seat of your soul, can talk. You see what I'm saying? Feeling is your ally. Your heart chakra is the only compass that will never lie to you. Oh, but my heart it led me in the wrong path. No, you never listened. That was your monkey mind. You wanted to be fucking love bomb. You knew better. Your heart always told you the truth. The heart never lies. The monkey mind always lies, manipulates, ducks, steals from itself. It's wild. You should sit in meditation for fucking 20 minutes and watch your monkey mind go from vine to vine to tree with one thought after another that is so fucked up. You're like, is that what's going on in my head when I'm taking a shower, when I'm sleeping? If you're not waking up with divine voices saying, good morning, you're lovely, you're fabulous, you're beautiful. I'm not kidding. I wake up with that. It took me years to get to that. Years. Decades to get to that. If you're not waking up with beautiful, soft energies enveloping you, where you smile and you're grateful for the bed, where you smile and you're grateful for the bed you're sitting on, the bed, your pillow, your child, your cat, your dog, whatever, the simplest shit. If you're not waking up with these wonderful thoughts then your monkey mind is attacking you. It is a parasitical energy. And so the whole point of this journey during the ascension, right, isn't, trust me, I have my Sarah Connor hat that unfortunately slips on when I'm watching the fuckery of what's been happening to, for example, the people in Gaza and the massive gaslighting. And when many of us spoke against this, because we'd known about this happening for decades, I didn't know about 1948, but I remembered at the age of 10 hearing these stories, these horrible stories. Okay? And so, and to see countries, not all countries, obviously, gaslight us. Well, it's very complex. No, butchering people isn't complex at all. I don't care who the fuck you are. Butchering Native Americans wasn't complex. Lying to them and stealing the land wasn't complex. Enslaving people in our country, in this country, wasn't complex. Selling women's babies, for God knows what purpose, wasn't complex. Creating the one drop law and selling people that had blonde hair and blue eyes on the slave auction wasn't complex. None of this shit's complex. Don't let people tell you butchery, fuckery, cruelty is complex. There's nothing complex. It's a choice. But don't let it destroy you either. Like I said, I have my moments of Sarah Connor, trust me. And I have to fucking put her to bed. Why? Because I've been Sarah Connor before. I've been a masculine warrior before. I fought against injustice. Maybe I was unjust. Maybe I was Attila the Hun. Or I was one of his men. Not a good look. Not a good thing. Not proud of it. But then I would be a warrior, a Robin Hood, one of the Robin Hoods that, I know it's a myth, but was it really a myth? Because the human mind only actually absorbs 15%, 15% of what anybody says. I do this with my client and I'll say, did you tell him blah, blah, blah? Did you tell her blah, blah, blah? Well, I've told her before. Like how many times? Once. Once? You better tell her 60 different times. Why? Because the human mind filters what it wants. You can tell a person all day long you love them, but the minute you tell them, you're an asshole, you fucked up, you did this to me, they will latch on to that. That one incident of you putting them down, and they will forget that you ever told them you're the love of my life, you're the only person I want to be with, you're all I want. That will go right out the fucking door. What will come into play will be what you said to them. And you should know that because you live that experience yourself. When people tell you something that hurts you, you hold on to that more than you hold on to what you experienced with the person who said, you're the love of my life, you're all I want. And you'll see them doing something that's sabotaging, and you'll still hold on to them move while he's not into me, or she's not into me, or they're not in. No, they're fucking being self-destructive, my friend. A lot of people can't handle being loved. They can't. And this comes from thousands of years of where love was a luxury that could be dangerous. It is our nature not to want, nature in the human reality of survival, okay? Not our nature as starseeds, our nature in the human experience in 3D of surviving, to love, put you in a vulnerable place. Not just that your beloved could betray you, Samson and Delilah, for example, but that if somebody could actually use that against you and own you by simply threatening you, I will do this to these people you love if you don't do what I say. So love was considered and was an Achilles heel. I'm not ever going to say it was a weakness. It was an Achilles heel. Does that make sense? So it's a big fucking deal to realize where all these weird ideas come from about our inability to surrender to love, to be loved and to love, to be loved and to love, to be loved and to love. Yes. We have a knee jerk to that shit. Be honest with yourself about that shit. But ultimately, the ascension isn't going to happen in 3D. in your monkey mind. It will happen in 5D, in high concentration, in high levels of coming to a place where you're realizing that you are your own worst enemy. And it's a wonderful little tagline until you fucking understand viscerally what that means. You are your own worst enemy. What does that look like? Sit in a 20-minute meditation and watch you fucking lose your fucking shit. You can't sit there. You're like, you want the bing and the ding of your phone, the this and the that, and the I got something in your mind saying what else you could be doing instead of sitting. That's your monkey mind controlling you. You are a slave to your monkey mind. And if that doesn't at least piss you off, then I don't know what to say. Does that make sense? It should make sense. So you have complete power. The car's not going to crash into other people unless you drive the wheel in that direction. You know this. Common sense. Use your common sense. The car is a dangerous vehicle. You get in the car, you put the key in, and where it goes can actually harm people or take you to your destination. The monkey mind is no different than that. The monkey mind is controlled by you, and you have forgotten that. And you forgot it over the fucking centuries. Don't feel bad. I'm a recovering 3D, cynical, logical thinker, waving false flags. I'm Irish, I'm Russian, I'm French, I'm American, my flag. Instead of realizing I'm a multidimensional being, and I'm being controlled by a small number of fuckers who want my energy, who siphon my energy, and the energy they love most is my grief, my despair, my hopelessness. The minute I'm joyous, the minute I am in my groove, right, in my mojo, they can no longer harm me or control me or brainwash me. And more of us need to be in that reality, if that makes sense. More of us need to be in that reality. And the more of us become in that consciousness of 5D, the more of us, the less likely, we're not going to catapult the rest. Many of us, I'm not going to promise 8 billion of us are going to fucking catapult into 5D because we're not going to be a frequency match. But I will say that all we need is the highest frequency of people who really want this like I want this. It could be 3 billion, it could be 2 billion, it could be 1 billion, it could be 500,000. I don't know. But it's not my concern. My concern isn't to know this. My concern is to look in my family lineage, right? And to say, this person I'm definitely aligned to. This is one of my soul brothers or sisters. These people were vehicles who I call my mother and father. My brother, for example. But these other people, no. It's a fucking no. Nice knowing you, though. Thank you for being part of my lineage, but yeah, no. And finding the true tribe and not really looking, knowing that I don't even have to look. My frequency will attract them to me like a magnet. I will be attracted to them. They will be attracted to me. We will be on the same consciousness. We'll be on the same path. Oh my God. It's kind of like going through the El Camino. You've heard about the El Camino going from, I believe it's France through Spain. It's a Catholic, actually, devout walk through parts of Europe, the El Camino. And backpackers meet each other. They get their little passport stamped. They eat shitty food. They laugh and they connect. And they have these amazing, apparently fantastic conversations as they're sharing the journey. The ascension is very similar to that. We are, if you want, for lack of a better word, the El Camino. We're on the ascension path. We are walking, and we will have little crossroad moments where we'll meet each other and go, oh my God, I feel like I've known you for thousands of years. Like, my God. You'll have nothing in common with them physically, probably, but you'll have everything in common with them philosophically, spiritually. It'll be fantastic. And so you're not being disloyal to any one flag, family crest, family bloodlines. You need to ask yourself, are they my soul tribe? And what you can do is be loving and kind. That doesn't mean you abandon your mother when she's 84 or 79 and she's dying in a hospice. It doesn't mean you say, yeah, goodbye, fuck you. It means I will take care of you. I will take care of you. I will love you. I will send you on your way as best as I can so that you don't have to fucking come back here. Don't fucking come back here. Forgive yourself. You can still be in service to people who are not of your soul tribe. In fact, you should. However, don't let your family intimidate you into doing fucking things that are against your better judgment, your heart, frequency, resonance. Don't do that. Don't fucking do that. Don't do things out of duty. Do things out of love. And marry who the fuck you want. I don't care what race, what religion. If you're Muslim and the girl's Jewish, fucking marry. Fuck these people. Fuck them. Go marry her. Go grab that girl, make her yours. And ask yourself why religions would be that fucking cruel as to separate lovers due to their religious differences. Who gives a fuck? I want you to convert. No, I want you to convert. Convert to what? How about this? Convert to love. Convert to God, true God, because a real God doesn't give a fuck about these religions. We had religions 3,000 years ago. We don't remember. We had religions in Atlantis. We don't remember. We've had religions on other planets or ceremonies or whatever you want to call them. We don't remember. There were people like Yeshua and Mary Magdalene and Krishna and Radha who walked this planet and we don't fucking know their name. They've been erased from our memory banks. Now what? We got to do better as individuals. This is all on you. You are the very crystal that we need. You are the Moldavite that we need to catapult as many as we can, and many will not be a frequency match. Look, we can only do what we can do, but but let's just do this. Let's get as many on that path by us in our own selves, just doing what we need to do to be happy. Yes, your mission isn't to be in a mission state of urgency to save the world, honestly, because at that point you'll feel very depressed and realize I can't do shit. Like I work for the state of blah, blah, blah. And I work 40 hours a week and I barely fucking can pay my bills. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about that if you become the change you want to see, which again, I used to think it was a t-shirt. But I wish people would fucking, explain shit in detail. Like, tell me what the fuck that means. Well, it means that you need to control your monkey mind so that you can be in a high frequency state and we catapult as many into 5D New Earth reality so we can live the kind of life that we all agree on. It's interesting how we all agree. I don't give a fuck about a Birkin bag. I don't want a Rolex watch. I don't even care about fucking being on a private jet, because if I'm in 5-6D, I can teleport. Yes, I can move. I can build a house based on consciousness. Do you think those monoliths that were created in the ancient world were built by fucking oxen and cart? Please stop. They've shown that the Tibetans, who had these huge trumpets that fall to the floor, use frequency resonance to move monoliths. I'm pretty sure that's what they did in Stonehenge. And we're pretty sure something happened with the pyramids of Giza. You can't put a fucking credit card in between the cracks. Try doing that shit. Try to build that. And they've all tried to build these monoliths. They're saying with our technology, we can't replicate. So what does that say? There was a different frequency. And for you to come to the ascension, right? You need to match that frequency. Time travel is frequency. You don't need a little chair. I mean, I love H.G. Wells and Jules Verne. I love their books. Don't get me wrong. They were definitely tapping into shit, but we don't need that. And your monkey mind is being cynical and going, well, that's not possible. Well, quantum physics wasn't possible 150 years ago, so now what? You've got to believe in the impossible. That's where your magic is. And as long as your monkey mind is playing you and owning you like a bitch, you'll be its bitch into the next life, into the next life, into the next life. I'm sorry if I'm vulgar. I'm very vulgar for a reason. It's not like I don't know what I'm doing. Do you want to be its bitch? Or do you want to train it to be your servant? It's really up to you. Let me see if anyone's got... Thank you, Jackie, for being here. Hang on, let me see if there's any comments I've missed. You know I never look down until I'm done. I just reminded my girlfriends this morning about being multidimensional. Yeah, but it's one thing to say that. It's another to you've got to explain what that looks like. It's like saying, here's a car key. And a person's never seen a car. They don't know what the fuck to do with the car. The car keys. In other words, here, this is the car keys. Be like a car. You've got to show people and speak in basic sentences that explain what does that mean to be a multidimensional light being. It's like being an addict, honestly, and coming off of it. That's how bad mine is. I understand. My twin told me it was bad. This is why I don't drop your emotions, your feelings. How is it so? How so if it's my compass? This is why I don't drop your emotions, you aren't your feelings. They're confusing. This is a very good question, Mama Yeti. They're confusing feelings. Okay, just listen, because this is important. They're confusing the monkey mind going fucking insane in your head and feelings. And the looping of these negative thoughts that leach themselves out into feelings that cloud your heart chakra. Because if you go into your heart, you are always, it's amazing. If you really do this work, you feel calm. I don't care if the shit's hitting the fan, you feel a state of calmness. Your feelings are your monkey mind losing its shit. And we are using the term feelings instead of letting the words, express itself correctly, which is my monkey mind is running amok. My monkey mind has taken a sledgehammer to my internal world. Do you understand what I'm saying? And when you drop into your heart chakra and you calm yourself with pranayama, like there's people call it, I call it the train, but they call it fire breathing. In 20 seconds, your nervous system will be completely fucking reset. I'm not joking. 20 seconds. Tony, thank you for educating the masses. The masses are all of 12. So, not really. But anyway, thank you. Grand Rising friend. So, whenever you are ready, I have a twin question. Anyway, so... Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you for asking that. Yeah, go ahead and ask me the twin question if you're still here. Fire breathing has changed my life since you taught me. Thank you. My twin taught me, to give him credit. He was an amazing master. He actually was so irreverent to the system that he actually said to me, this is what he said to me. He said, I had to come into your world because you could not come into mine. That's literally what he said. Meaning he had to actually step away from his wildness. He was a green man and be in my world because I couldn't be in his. And to be honest, we are in a system right now that doesn't allow, us to be in other worlds. I mean, look, you need fucking licenses to build a house. You need this and that. And like you're an asshole, like you're going to build a house that's going to fucking crumble. Like you're stupid. I don't need anybody to tell me how to build my house. I will hire some of the best minds and I will build my own fucking house. I don't need you to approve my plans. I don't need you to approve my plans. I don't want you to approve my plans. You know what? You have this amazing, I wish I could tell you the name of this architect / guy who taught hundreds of thousands of people, I believe, to build earth ships. Earth ships. Look it up. Earth ships. And they're amazing. They are amazing. Anyway, so that's what we have to understand is that we're not going to be able to go toe-to-toe 3D to 3D. That's not the goal. In fact, you don't want to do it because you're going to lose anyway. I'm straight up, you're going to lose. The way we win is 5D consciousness all the way, massive meditations on your own. You don't have to kumbaya. Oh, I just want to do it. Yeah, no. Learn how to master yourself alone. Okay, eventually kumbaya with other people. But for now, For now, we are many. In fact, the COVID literally took us away. Excuse me, my dog is acting great. She's such a nut. Right now, the COVID lockdown forced us into being lone wolves, and many people did not survive that, as you well know. You know what happened to them. They couldn't be alone. And so we are being asked to be in our own selves, to master ourselves alone. Oh, well, I listen to guided meditations and music. No, turn that shit off. We're not here to distract you from yourself. You know what I'm saying? We're not here to distract you from yourself, right? Which is in a sense what that is. When you actually listen to guided meditations, and this is what I had to tell a client. I had to say, look, guided meditation is a guided meditation. It's the cherry on the cake, right? But you meditate. Now, after that, if you want to do a guided meditation, enjoy. No music. None. No music. Why? Well, because I don't want you to constantly distract yourself from your own monkey mind. I need you to be okay with yourself. Does that make sense? I need you to be okay being alone. I need you to be okay with the horror that you might see in your monkey mind. I need you to be okay as you start collapsing into tears, not knowing why, or tears of joy. What a concept. I want a nerve ship. I think we all do. Yes, it's a way to stop folks from inventing again hell, try to make an argon generator, all kinds of stuff. There was a guy that was making water-powered car, right? Both those guys, there were two guys, not just one, but they got their car confiscated. I mean, hello. Would there also be then multiple versions of our twin hypothetically? No, it's not hypothetic. It is true. There are multiple versions, but I'm just going to caution you to look at 2, not 3, 5, 6, 7. I know this guy. I'm not going to talk his name, but every person he was with was a twin. And am I wrong? I could be wrong, to be honest. I could very well be wrong, okay? Because again, remember, I'm still filtering through 3D. Don't forget. Can we have a concurrent incarnations? Do we have walk-ins? Do we have this, that, and the other? All of that is true, absolutely. But be honest about what you're saying. Don't make it fit. Don't make Cinderella's foot fit into the shoe of a high-level soulmate or not even that. Does that make sense? Don't do that because you want it to be, because be honest, about what's going on. Look at the synchronicities. The universe will tell you whether or not this is real or not. Does that make sense? And that's what you need to so just look at look at some of my lives in the past where we talk about numerology, various synchronicities, signs, this, that, and the other. And then ask yourself, am I getting the same from this person as this person, right? And the truth is you may actually not, okay, at all. That doesn't mean they're not a high-level soulmate. I mean, top 5 out of 600 soulmates, they're top 5. That means they're your twin soulmates as well. So it's, anyway, I have to go. I have a reading. I have a session with a client, so I have to go. But anyway, someone said someone said their guides answered 300 when he asked, so I said there's probably 300 versions of you. Hang on. I'm thinking about your answer. Shh, don't do that. I'm thinking about your answer. 300 twin flames. Well, if time is not linear, right, and we're having multiple incarnations simultaneously, not just on this planet, but various other realms, this planet too, but various realms, yes, but that doesn't mean you're going to meet all 300 in 3D, okay? There's going to be veils that separate us from our own self. Does that make sense? And that means that you may have 2 or 3 versions of it on this planet, of a twin, but the 300 is more spinning in various realities, in various dimensions and planets, if that makes sense. Hopefully that answers the question. All right, my loves, it was a pleasure and an honor as usual. And I will upload this on YouTube. Please follow me on YouTube. If, the psychopaths systems of our leadership decides to take TikTok down, definitely follow me on YouTube. I'm still trying to gather the energy to do other things. Like I've got Substack, I got to figure it out. And I've got Patreon, which I'm going to actually go back and start working on. But YouTube is your best bet. Okay? All right. Sending you much love on your journey. Namaste. Talk to you soon.